يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث من عذابك نستجير أصلح لنا شأننا ومرادنا كله ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا ولا إلى أحد من خلقك طرفة عين ولا أقل من ذلك يا نعم المولى ونعم النصير. الحمد لله. So, Bismillah. Should I hold it like this? Alhamdulillah. Bismillah. Who has the summary? Bismillah. Who has a summary for us? Who and from which book? Bismillah. Yalla Bismillah. No one did his homework. Huh?
Please start.
بسم الله تفضلوا سيدي start. We don't have much time. Bismillah. Anyone who, just a reminder that we need to respect this class and it's different than the inshallah we'll get our spiritual boost inshallah, but in order for it to be truly spiritual, you need to engage, you need to invest yourself. Spirituality is not an entertainment. It's not to come and listen to beautiful things and then feel nice for a short moment and then go back home and get back to your addictions and get back to your bad habits, and nothing comes in you. So it is a class and you need to work on it. So I ask it that everyone who is going to be registered in this class to pick one of the books, at least of the one of them, of the biographies that we mentioned, or anyone else. Anyone. That doesn't have to be. I suggested one of the four. طيب. But you can, any book of the seer, because they go all, نعم, that's the best. You go all by the same order. And we said that for today, we want to talk about the pre-Islamic era. You will find that all the books, they start with that. How was Mecca and the world before the coming of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And I wanted you to just give me to really work on something, to make a beautiful summary. Want you to invest in this in a good way, at least with the same energy, and you work for other papers that they do not need anything. We want you to contribute in this, and then you will feel something better, and you'll appreciate that. طيب. على كل حال, and this is the last time I tolerate this absence. When we give, if you are registered in this class, you want to show up in this class, please do your homework. Just read it, read the pages that are related to that from any book, and come with points. And it's better if you can type them, print them, and share them with us, or at least you can read them for us. طيب. بسم الله. توفيق. تفضلوا. Yes. Yes. تفضل. Go ahead. Which book is this?
الرحيق المختوم.
الرحيق المختوم مبارك فوري. ومبارك فوري. بسم الله. The sealed. In English, it's the sealed nectar. Have you?
I have both versions.
Yeah.
But I read the Arabic.
You read the Arabic.
Yes.
Great. Bismillah. تفضلوا. Because in the translation is not the best.
Yeah.
Of the you have two translations of Rahiq al-Makhtoum. You have the
I have
open
both
and the
translation and I have the Arabic version.
Bismillah. تفضلوا.
I haven't summarized it in the same order he have wrote it, but I wrote the main points that I got from
Bismillah.
the first section.
Yes.
So one of the most intriguing things is that the Arabs of this region were following the religion of Ibrahim and Ismail alayhi salam,
نعم.
until a person who is supposed to be known for his religious beliefs or his religious authority came, Amr ibn Luhay, came to them with this new idea that he saw people in Sham
Having idols.
praying for statues, and he thought that this is something good that they should also adapt. And then they started with first one idol, and then another one came in another tribe, and a third one came from another third tribe, and soon you had all of those idols. And Rasulullah during Fatih Mecca, he found up to
360.
360 idols in around Al-Haram.
Subhanallah.
The other thing that was also that actually works very well with this is how disoriented and defeated they were, the Arabs of this region and Arabs of other region, in terms of everything. How the Romans and the Persians were always controlling them and pushing them somewhere or another in different parts. So if they were more towards Al-Sham, they were controlled by the Romans completely and pushed them right and left. That even at some point the Romans encouraged people from Al-Habasha to go and attack Al-Hijaz for the first time in history, and that was also parts of the reasons why you have some Christians and Jews in those areas, because of this control that they had. And you see also that they didn't have any contribution to knowledge or to development at that age. They were just again following and copying whatever was given to them by the Romans or by who invaded them at some point. They had some virtues or some characteristics like generosity and courage and all of that, but a lot of it was them trying to show off to others who are in the same tribe, and not for the sake of the virtue itself. So at some point, before Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, it became as if they're obliged to do so in front of others, but not actually believe into those virtues. And also one of the biggest sources of corruption was the relationship between a man and a woman in the ages before Islam.
أيوة.
And how with time zina became something common and with different forms. And how actual marriage as we know it now was only 20 to 25% of actual relationships.
So they were modern.
No, they had different.
That's the same percentage that we have here in Canada. So they were living in the post-modernity. أيوة. أيوة. أيوة.
Yeah, but to me the main theme was this orientation in everything, in terms of the social life, the political life, or anything else.
Great. أحسن الله إليكم. طيب. Virtues. And controlled. So I can, if I may, I can summarize your this orientation that you gave us about the disorientation of the Arab people before the coming of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So politically they were controlled by Romans and Persians. Religiously speaking, they were not really looking for truth per se. So after Sayyidina Ibrahim and after Sayyidina Ismail, shortly after that they fell into just doing, I would say, doing the religion. I would ask, if you are not using your phone to take notes, please close your phones. It's an insult. It's an insult, and they don't accept it, because it's not for me, it is for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Bismillah. If you are using your phone to take notes, Bismillah. طيب, Bismillah. So, we were saying, so they did not have a religion per se. What is the definition of religion?
Something that
connects. What is the definition of religion?
System to regulate your relation to the divine.
The religion. What is the role of the religion? The first role of the religion is to connect the human being to the Creator, to the source of his life, to the source of, to his source, to his origin, is to connect the human being to God. That's the role of religion. Is the role of the religion to organize social life? No. Is the role of the religion to organize economical life per se? I mean, the main role? No. Is the role of the religion to establish an Islamic state? No. Is the role of the religion to give us a political organization? No. What is the role of the religion? What makes a religion digne? What makes a religion deserving of being called religion? If it shows you a path to connect you to your Lord. So, is there a religion without a transcendence? No. So the element of transcendence is the main element in any religion. The vertical, I would say, relationship. But in order to have a healthy vertical relationship, you need to have a good horizontal relationship, and then on the horizontal relationship you'll have the social, the economical, the political. طيب. So we start with the religious chaos that was happening there. So Amr ibn Luhay came, he saw some statues, he saw people really playing music, he saw a few things in his according to Al-Mubarak Furi. So he brought and he actually, this is in a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says the first man who brought asnam to Al-Kaaba is Amr ibn Luhay, and I have seen him, he said he have seen him in a vision, alayhi salatu wasalam, he has seen Amr ibn Luhay in a vision in the fire, and because he's the one responsible, he was the one responsible for that innovation that everyone else followed wal-'ayadhu billah after him. طيب. So he was the one who started the pattern. He was the one who created the pattern of what. But what is it? Why? If we go deeper into that, what made that acceptable to people? How was that successful? How was that successful? I mean, if I come to you now and tell you, you know what, let us do something. Are you going to follow me? And you are students. And, what makes Bismillah, Inas?
Well, I believe they didn't give attention to knowledge. So basically,
they did not give attention to knowledge. What's the definition of knowledge? What kind of knowledge? The inheritance of Ibrahim, if the Abrahamic and Ismailic, if I may say,
knowledge of the deen.
knowledge of the deen. What else?
So whatever was inherited from the tradition of Ismail alayhi salam was completely void of any real connection, so that it would have been easy for something else to influence it. It was completely like a shell without any essence.
Bismillah, yes?
So like basically there was a void, people were looking for meaning, and it seems like the other two religions, maybe like the Christians and the Jews, who are supposed to represent that, were not living up to, they were not good examples. Maybe, so people are looking somewhere else.
Bismillah.
So they already had idols, and they were just playing with their emotions, and so they were just ready to manifest them physically, but they already had idols actually.
Spiritually speaking. So people were not religious to begin with. Labbayk.
It just seemed like when I was reading it, it seemed like they were very nonchalant about it. It was like, sure.
Okay, sure. So what were they doing?
Playing.
They were playing.
Yeah, and also economic reasons too. I think later on. Also, I think there were economic reasons later on.
Yes.
Not initially, but
After that, yes, why not? But why would they? Were these people having any concern for the afterlife, the divine, the teachings of Ibrahim and the teachings of Ismail? They were void of the meaning of connection, as Sidi Omar was saying. They were devoided of any meaning of connection to the divine. So they were making tawaf around the Kaaba, and actually and actually what is so interesting that they kept the many Abrahamic ways of praying intact for more than, we're talking about 5,000 years. We're not talking about 1400. But it's just images. So they had the images of the Abrahamic prayers, and they were not praying, they did not have that connection to the divine, so the religiosity and the concern to have a God, to connect to a God, to find the truth, to find the meaning was not there. They were not asking these questions: who we are, what is our mission on earth, what should we... So they were consumed by what? They were consumed by what?
Their own desires.
I just wanted to say something.
Yes.
The
But
word-
answer my question first. They were consumed by what? Their own desires? Uh-huh.
Maybe formality.
Formalities, what else? Rituals, but what else? What is the most important thing they were consumed by? I mean, if a human being doesn't have any concern to connect to the divine, if the transcendent element is not there, if they do not have that, so they are consumed by what?
The works.
Huh?
The world.
The world, the life of every day. I want to have a kid, huh? I want to have money, I want to save my kid from death, I want to save myself from floods, I want to save myself from this, I want rain to come, I want rain to stop, huh? I want to have I want to have money, I want to have a male kid, I want to have a female kid, I want to have more male kids, I want to have, and that's it. That's it. So they were consumed by these things. So whatever it takes to bring these things, they will follow. They will follow. So they were not people of religion, they were people of superstition. They were not people of spirituality, they were people of superstition. So because their concern was to ensure to have these things. So if they come to them with black magic, for example, ideas, they would accept them. Huh? For example, how did black magic, for example, find this market in Morocco, for example, today, or in Tunisia today? Why? Because people, they lost the connection with the divine. For them, I want that to happen. I want to destroy that human being. So if I can go to the police and make him and lie to the police and lie to the judge and take these worldly means that people are taking today and destroy him, if I can report his name, etc., and destroy him with the police, I will do. If I can't do that, I will find any other way. I will do some black magic. If someone tells me, if you go and make 3 idols and you make tawaf around this one 7 times and tawaf in the opposite side, they will try everything and anything in order to achieve that worldly goal. That worldly goal. So they are worldly people. So they did not have a religion. They did not have an aspiration for the divine or to connect to the divine. So that's the definition of religion. And if there is no aspiration for the divine, then we are ready to accept something that we can learn from the Jahiliyyah period. If we stop our aspiration for the divine, if we do not have that aspiration to become people of God and know who we are and know our mission, etc., so it's very easy after that to fall into fashions, patterns. Ahla wa sahla. Allah. Bismillah. And to fall into things like that. Huh? So this is from your summary. What is the thing that you wanted to say?
I just wanted to say that they weren't completely flat. They weren't completely flat human beings.
Yes.
And it was exactly what you were talking about. That they would say yes to black magic. Anything that seemed not worldly, that had some sort of power, they would say yes to it. When I wanted to bring up the example of the people of Musa alayhi salam, about how the man who created that golden calf was, he took that soil because that soil had some sort of special property. That soil had some special property. It was the soil left behind by Jibreel alayhi salam. And when he mixed that soil with, whatever he may use to make the idol, it was able to, it was not worldly. It had some otherworldly element in it.
But what was he seeking from it? What was he seeking? Was he seeking a connection with God? What was he seeking through that experience? It is a transcendent experience. But what was he seeking through it? A Samiri, what was he seeking? Was he seeking God through that?
But he's, I don't know, a spiritual high maybe? Like some sort of...
Psychic high.
What was he seeking deeper than a psychic high? Why did he do all of that? What did he become after Sayyidina Musa? The time of the absence of Sayyidina Musa. He was what? He became what? Huh?
Leader.
He became the leader of the children of Israel. So he was seeking what through that? Worldly thing. He was seeking a worldly thing. So if you remember, we spoke in the past about the shirky mind. It is actually in this class, in the previous sessions, we spoke about something called the shirky mind, and that shirk is not about objects that you do or behavior that you have. It's about a mentality that you have. Anyone who has his worldly desire deeper and bigger than his desire to find the truth, he's already set up for shirk. And that's our definition for shirk, and that's the scientific definition of shirk. That's the shirky mind. Had the Samiri been looking for God through that, he wouldn't have been deluded. That experience, which was indeed a transcendent experience, had the seeker of God seen what he had seen, had he been following Musa for the good reason. We know from before, he was following Musa and he wanted to be the closest one from Musa. Why? He was actually the one carrying the shoes of Musa. He was the one who would carry the water for Musa. He was the servant of Sayyidina Musa. But why? The history tells us because he was looking to become the Khalifa after Musa, and that was his desire in his heart. He never did something to his teacher because his teacher told him that I won't be the one opening Jerusalem. My student will be doing it. You understand? For him, he put himself, I am the inheritor. So his love for himself was greater than his love for his prophet. His love for his own success was greater than his love for his own teacher. For the success of his teacher and the success of the divine. So he was consumed by himself. He was consumed by his, when we say someone is consumed by himself, it means he's consumed by his worldly, because the self is worldly. And nafs is worldly. Even when it seeks anything, it's worldly. The nafs cannot seek God. Nafs ammaratun بالدنيات بالسوء. So he was not seeking God. He was not seeking God. Yes, he was doing, yarhamukumullah, he was the one serving Sayyidina Musa, and actually he was the one right behind him. And subhanallah, a miracle happened and he was the one, he witnessed it. He saw it. Has he been a seeker of God and a seeker of his teacher and lover of his teacher? What would he get from that experience? More certainty, more yaqeen, more ta'zeem for his prophet and for his teacher. An experience that would bring him closer to God. It's a veil that was removed in front of him. Subhanallah. A veil that was removed. That fell in front of him, so he could see something from the unseen. Ajib. But because he was so consumed by his own desire to become the inheritor of Sayyidina Musa, he took that sand and he did not even go to the teacher and tell him after that, I have lived this experience. Thank you for allowing me to be with you. I have experienced this. Now my love for God is bigger. Now my love for you is greater. Now my certainty is bigger. He was already calculating for the after Musa. He was living with Musa, counting the days for the after Musa. You understand? Like whom in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Oh, like many. They came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they told him, we will make bay'ah for you to be the Khalifa after you. One of them was Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul. The other one was Amr ibn La ilaha illallah. The one Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Unais to to kill that's Khalid al-Hudhali. And another one, على كل حال, his name is Amr also, from the tribe of from the Najd, from that tribe. So many people, they came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they told him, we'll make bay'ah with you, but to become the Khalifa after you, to become the kings after you. We see that it's going to be successful, this thing, but we want to become the kings after you. So As-Samiri, he was not a seeker of God, and because he saw something, an experience that is extraordinary, he failed. He fell. This is very important. This is very important because many people, they think, oh, maybe if we see something extraordinary, we'll look at it. It's not about that. It's not about ordinary or extraordinary. It's about here what you are seeking. If you are seeking God, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْهُ مَخْرَجًا. The one who seeks God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him a makhraj, will give him a solution. وَمَنْ يُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ يَهْدِ قَلْبَهُ. The one who actually is seeking God and looking to become godly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide his heart and will give him discernment, and he will see the thing in that. As-Samiri wasn't seeking God. As-Samiri was seeking himself, was seeking his ego. And you can imagine many times Sayyidina Musa gave him a message, a hidden message. What are you looking for? Why are you following me? Be careful. Man can follow man for money. Man can follow man for power. Man can follow man for fame. Man can follow man for God. Follow God, it is better for you. He gave him many chances, and but he was so consumed by his own desire to become the sheikh after his sheikh, or the prophet after his prophet, or the Khalifa after Musa, and that's a worldly thing. Actually, that's the filthiest thing in the world. Al-jah, the power, fame, and name, and becoming and leadership. So that's why he was deluded. Had someone else seen that from the people of Sayyidina Musa, it would have been such a beautiful experience. So the problem wasn't in the experience itself. It was what they were seeking through that. They were not flat people indeed. They were not flat people when we talk about the transcendent element, but they were flat. Okay, they were not flat people with the definition that they were looking for mystery, and there was room for mystery, and indeed they had mystery. And Shaitan came with his mystery, and they heard voices from animals, and they heard voices from inside these statues, and they heard absolutely. But that's a mystery. Is anything mysterious transcendent? That's the question that I want to ask you. Is anything mysterious?
Is everything?
Is anything which is mysterious? Is any mystery? Can we define? Can we call or define or qualify any mystery to be transcendent? Depending what you are looking for. Depending what you are. Is magic a transcendent thing? It's not. You understand? Dealing with jinn in order to become more powerful, or in order to get the energy of that thing. Is that something transcendent? Can that be? You understand me? Focus on me. Don't allow things to distract you. Just Can you answer the question?
No,
like the religion thing, there's a horizontal level and a vertical one. You can maintain 5,000 years of praying in the Abrahamic form, and it be a completely horizontal thing, and you can enter other realms on a horizontal level, and possibly even on a descendant.
As long as you are not seeking God, even if you see the angels and you are not seeking God, it won't be a transcendent experience for you. It will be just a mystery that wow, and then you will get stuck there, because you are not on the airplane mode. You are not ready to transcend. You are not ready to fly. You are not ready to embrace the divine. You are so stuck. أخلد إلى الأرض. Actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking about someone, and in some tafsir it's about Amr ibn Luhay. آتيناه آياتنا فانسلخ منها وأخلد إلى الأرض واتبع هواه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the psychology of these people. He says something, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أخلد إلى الأرض واتبع هواه. أخلد إلى الأرض. He
settled.
No, he desired this world as his.
He got contented.
Yeah.
We say أخلد إلى النعاس. يعني he accepted to be. He accepted to be.
Asleep.
But he accepted to be overwhelmed. He accepted to be vaincu. He accepted to be defeated. You see yourself many mornings, you want to wake up, and you have the power to really wake up had you wanted to, but you accept to be defeated. You let go at some point. You accept to be defeated. You choose that. وَاتَّبَعَ هَوَاهُ, and you choose the وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ الْهَوَى and the passion. So that's what happened with Amr ibn Luhay, and he did not bring these statutes in order to connect people to the divine, because people, they were really so desperate to connect to the divine, and they are looking for a connection, and said, you know what, this might work. I might shock you, but had anyone prostrated to a statue, to a dog, really, in order to connect to the divine, really, out of love for God, subhanahu wa ta'ala, he would have been connected to the divine. He would find, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would show him the way. Would show him the way. We know some in the akhbar al-dha'ifa, that one of the people of the Yemen family, they were really worshipping the statues in order to connect to the divine. So the statue spoke to them. So what are you doing? Can't you worship the one who created every single piece in me? I mean, if your desire is to connect to God, start wherever you can. Start wherever you are. You will be connected to God. You will be connected to God. God will bring you. إِنَّ رَبِّي لَطِيفٌ لِمَا يَشَاءُ. He will make the way. وَمَنِ اتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَل لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. The one who seeks God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make a way for him. That's the meaning. That's exactly the translation. The one who seeks God, Allah will make a way for him. Is it? Can we say it like that? The one who seeks God, God will make a way for him. The one who seeks God, God will make a way for him. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَل لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. And he will provide him, and he will give him guidance from somewhere he was not even expecting. طيب. The problem of people when they get so stuck or consumed by themselves, consumed by their worldly desire, their worldly maslaha, their worldly interests, or their fanaticism. And that's something else. That's worldly. That's the pride. That's another way to be consumed by one, by oneself. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. So the first mass was, you spoke about Amr ibn Luhay. Is that hadith sahih or da'if? We'll see. But it's a theory, acceptable theory. Was Amr ibn Luhay the first one who brought them or not? But the main thing, the main phenomena that we need to understand, why these things were accepted. How did that start? Why the ulama of the seerah, they brought that? Because you find today another very dangerous theory. They will tell you that what brought the Arab people to the shirk was their respect for saints. So you find that they start the shirk, and you find in these small booklets of Tawheed and things like that, you find this misunderstanding overspread. You find that what made people mushrik, what made them mushrik, is because they were so interested in their salihin. So they were so attached to Suwa', Nasr, and Yaghuth. They were so attached to these salihin. They were saints. They were good people in their lives. So after they passed away, out of love for these people, they did what? They built statues to remember them, because they were so in love with these people, and out of a virtue which is fidelity, right, and loyalty, out of their love for these people, they made pictures, images, and statues for them in order to keep, remembering them. Allah, slowly, Shaitan came to them and he told them, these are gods, worship them. I mean, this is an abuse of the human mind. And this theory is just, not only flat, it's absurd. Absurd. It's a shame that human beings actually can believe in such a flat theory. Al-khayru la ya'ti illa bil-khayr. Good only brings good. A true loyalty will never misguide you. A true love for people, for good people, will never misguide you. Some people, they would say, the other hadith, why you are saying this? The hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam talking to Imam Ali radhiallahu anhu, yahlaku fika ithnan, two people will perish because of you. Someone who would love you too much, and another one who would hate you too much. But was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam talking about the true love? Were people who took Sayyidina Ali for God, or took Sayyidina Ali, or claimed that Sayyidina Ali was prophet, or desiring to kill the 80% of the ummah with the grandchild of Sayyidina Ali when he shows up? Is it because really they love Sayyidina Ali too much? You present to them the grandchild of Sayyidina Ali. He has his silsila. Tell you, we are people of Ahl Bayt. We love Ahl Bayt. We love Ahl Bayt. We love Ahl Bayt. Bismillah. These are Ahl Bayt. Can you love them? They don't agree with our ideology. They are still Ahl Bayt. If your claim was right, that's a Husayni, and that's a Hasani, and they are Sunnah. What are you talking about? No. They have to be in our clan. Or in the other clan, it is the same thing. So, it is the love of the awliya? No. Were they seeking God through that love for the awliya? No. Were they really loving the awliya? No, it was a pure opportunism. It was a pure opportunism in the life of these awliya, in the life of these special people. Special people, they pray for rain comes, because they're connected to God. And why do they perform these performances? Not a performance. Why does God give these miracles to the or mu'jizat to anbiya and awliya? In order to connect people to God, in order to stir in the hearts of people the desire to become godly, to become connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. هكذا. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. So, and that's why. طيب. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends miracles and give miracles and give things like that to people. But opportunist people who are only looking for dunya. Some people, they were around Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam during his life. For what? For money. For what? To live good for their life. وهكذا. So these same people, because they were so consumed by their dunya, by their masalah dunyawiyya, what they will do? They will try to find any solution in order to get that maslaha dunyawiyya, whether it is اتخاذ الأسباب المادية أو اتخاذ الأسباب الغيبية. They will take the means, the material means, or they will take the mystical?
Metaphysical. Mysterious.
The mysterious meanings. Means, whether they would take the physical means or the mysterious means. Because their purpose is to get that. His purpose or her purpose is to get married. His purpose is to find a job. Her purpose is to punish her husband. His purpose is to defeat his enemy. And that's it. You understand? Whatever it takes, they will do. They will start with, in the same time, they will go to the police and they will go to the sheikh, pray for us. Do you want me to pray for you to become a better person? No, no. Pray for me. I want to find a husband. And that's it. That's it. That's it. Let us at least pray for a pious husband. Let us try. No, no. Just a husband. Okay? You see? So they are so consumed by the, and whatever it takes, they will do. And then they become so fragile and vulnerable to shaitan. So the insan, the human being, becomes vulnerable to shaitan when he becomes consumed by his own worldly desire, when he doesn't ask the important questions, and when his purpose in life is not to answer these questions. You understand? That's it. This person will be a mushrik even if he is praying 5 times a day. This person will be a mushrik even if he goes for Hajj, even if he fasts Ramadan, even if he gives zakat, because he has his setup. He's set up for shirk, to accept his what? Okay, he's doing all these practices, but his heart is fully. So he will make fatwas for riba. He will make fatwas to 4% is not problem, 5% is not problem, 6% is not problem. Let us do this. He will make fatwa because his own interest is to يقضي مصلحته الدنيوية. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it very clearly in the Quran. What did he say? بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى. هذا لا في الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. That's it. The problem is تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا. The problem is that you prefer this hayat, this worldly life, over the true life or the afterlife. If you have that preference, you have what I call the shirky mind, or the mind that is set up to accept any shirky theory, whether postmodernity theory, whether modernity theory, or whether jahiliyyah theory. These are all shirky theory. Isn't it a shirky theory to tell you today to keep running from a bank to another? Or to have that mentality that it's not God who is going to give you the rizq, it's your CV, or your diploma, or your isn't that a shirky theory that is so infiltrated and rooted today in our minds? The shirky paradigm is to run after causes, material causes or mysterious causes, without having in mind the priority, or without having the desire to connect to the causer of causes. Anytime you become so busy with that, you are set up for any kind of shirk theory, magic, etc., etc., etc. There was someone who was abid in the time of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. In a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam taught us about this abid, one who was worshipping, was one of the best worshippers in the time of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. But he was worshipping God alone. He was worshipping God alone, and he will only show up to people once a year. He made one day for people. But he was living the whole year for that one day. You understand? He did not anything with the divine. All his ibadah was about himself, about feeling good, about feeling special. And any encounter with people, even if it is once a year, even if it is once per 10 years, khalas, just that whoa from people. MashaAllah, for 1 year he did not show up. He was so busy in his ibadah, mashallah, for a full year. That's it, he was living for that. So he was doing that, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to him shaitan, In one story, Shaitan asked permission to test him or whatever. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this person he filled the earth with his riyah, with his showing off. A moment of justice came. A moment of justice came. A person came to him, or Shaitan sent to him a prostitute in his sawma, in his mihrab, in his monastery. She came to him and she told him she had some wine and she had a kid. She brought a boy with her. She told him, you make zina with me, you drink wine, or you kill the kid. The story, the hadith is saying, so he has chosen the easiest. He drank wine. He was drunk. He made zina with the lady. The kid saw him and the kid was running to tell people. He killed the kid. Immediately after he killed the kid, he saw people coming, a crowd coming from the people, the visitors, who would come to visit him once per year. They were coming to visit him and to honor him and to give him the gifts and the qurbans and to tell him, pray for us. He was so desperate to hide his crime, Shaitan manifested himself to him and he told him, make a sujood to me and I will save you. He made sujood for Shaitan and he died while doing so. This is a hadith. And it is an authentic narration. What we take from it? Some people took from it. This is what I wanted to. This hadith for me is what talks about the shirky mind. Because some people they took from this only, oh, you see, wine is the most dangerous one. That's why it is al-Khaba'ith. If you drink wine, you are set up already for all kinds of crimes, which is true. If you lose your intellect, you are set up. But what did he lose before wine? Why did he accept the challenge to begin with? Had he been a man of truth, had he been someone who was deep, had he been someone who was connected to the divine, why would he accept something like that? Oh, yeah, I will try this. Why would he? He was already set up for failure. He only had images. It was only waiting for, you see it like castles of, they say castles of, of playing cards. Just waiting for that to blow or for everything to fall. Many of us are like that, and our ibadah is like that. Be careful. It's just image of deen that he had. It wasn't really built around the flame of faith or connection to God or anything like that. He was a man who was actually worshipping what? Worshipping people and worshipping himself and worshipping his image in front of people. So when this prostitute came to him and she made that challenge, he wasn't deep enough, he wasn't brilliant enough, he wasn't attentive enough, he wasn't connected to God to tell her, this is Shaitan, why would I do that? Had he been a true man of God, he would have guided her. You are giving me the choice between three things, let me give you the choice between the three things. Come and pray 2 rakat with me, or go to the river and make a ghusl, and go back home, or cook a meal and give it to poor people. And whatever she will be doing, that will lead her to guidance, for example. But because he was so flat, and he wasn't deep in what he was doing, he wasn't getting anything from that ibadah he was doing. He accepted the challenge, and bismillah. Yeah. He drank the wine, and everything was manifested in the end. what was his, when he killed the boy, had he been a man of truth, after committing a crime, what you would do?
Repent.
You repent. You see?
Oh.
So that hadith, if we need to take something from that hadith, what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is teaching us, he was teaching us that all the prostrations that he was making for God or to God, in the reality they were only prostrations for shaitan, because we have another hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling us, يَمُوتُ الْمُؤْمِنَ عَلَى مَا يَمُوتُ الْمَرْءُ عَلَى مَا عَاشَ عَلَيْهِ. The human being will die doing or invested or in the state he has lived in. It's a law. In the state he has lived in. عَلَى مَا عَاشَ عَلَيْهِ. There is no, you cannot be a good person, invested in good all your life, and look, because some people, they take from this hadith what? Fatalism. Fatalism. You know what? He was a man of fire. Look, all his life he did everything good right before his death to deserve the fire. God tested him, and that's it. What do you accept? What do you want people to understand from this? Pure fatalism. Why would he guide him to be so invested in good things had he wanted him to be of the people of fire to begin with? We have the other verse, مَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُضِيعَ إِيمَانَكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not playing with you, is not going to waste your إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ مَنْ أَحْسَنَ عَمَلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not waste the ajr, the reward of someone who did something, one thing, one amal for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو لِقَاءَ رَبِّهِ فَلْيَعْمَلْ one good action. As long as you are seeking, the one who is seeking the meeting of his Lord, let him do one action, seeking the face of his Lord, and not seeking any other thing with his Lord, and he will be safe. Let him do one action, and that action will open the door. See? It's all يرجو لقاء ربها ولا يرجو لقاء ربها. That's the question to ask. That is the question. To be or not to be. To seek or not to seek. To seek the meeting of your Lord or not to seek the meeting of your Lord. And that's it. That's the only question. Are you seeking to meet with the Lord or not seeking to meet with the Lord? If you are not seeking to meet with your Lord, you are set up for failure. You are set up for the hell, even if you are praying 5 times a day. All his prostrations that he was doing, the image was for God, and it was according to the Sharia of Musa, and it was according to all of that. Assalamu alaikum. But the haqiqah, the reality of that, it was what? The reality of that, it was what? It was worshipping Satan. It was worshipping pride. It was worshipping his own image. It was worshipping his own fire. And look at me, that's the religion of whom? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us.
Ameen.
I want you to understand this. It's very important to understand the pre-Islamic era, because the whole ideology of Tawheed of today, I'm not talking about the true Aqeedah of Tawheed, but the whole ideology of Tawheed, because there is a Aqeedah of Tawheed that the Muslim people, that the Islamic, that the Muslim scholars, they have taught. Imam Abu Ja'far al-Tahawi, Imam Abu al-Hasan al-Ash'ari, Imam Abu Mansur al-Maturidi, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. That was the Aqeedah of Tawheed. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. That was saved by these great scholars. But there is something called ideology of Tawheed today. What is the purpose of Aqeedah? Save people. What is the purpose of ideology? Exclude people. Exclude people. Condemn people. Ideology is to condemn others. Aqeedah is to bring others to God. There is an ideology of Tawheed that started 200 or 300 years ago, or manifested more. It was there since the beginning. But there is this ideology of Tawheed, and they started these stories and with the wrong definition of everything, so they made people paranoid. Be careful. If you touch a grave, khalas. It's you lost your connection with God. You are a mushrik. If you visited a grave, you are a mushrik. Let alone if you walked around the grave, not knowing that it was a grave. وهكذا. That's an ideology of Tawheed, and that's very wrong. And it is based on what? On the pre-Islamic era. Why? Because actually one of these groups of the ideology of the Tawheed are called the Takfir wal Hijra, and they started with someone يعني على كل حال, he should never be one of the symbols of our ummah. I mean, it's a shame that our ummah are still keeping his books in the masajid. It's a shame that our ummah still, because you see, it's because of our jahiliyyah, our emotional thing. Oh, because he died in the Mashnaqa, oh, he's a martyr. Not everyone who was crucified is a martyr, or someone who was killed in the Mashnaqa is a martyr. It doesn't make him a scholar. And he was never a scholar. Sayyid Qutb was never a scholar. Okay? And his tafsir of the Quran is never to be taken seriously. Had the Ummah been smart, they wouldn't even have printed that book, let alone putting it in every library. He started the group called the Takfir wal Hijra. Tell people you are kafir and migrate. Okay? And he started, why? He started based on what? On this. And their slogan, للوراء ما عدنا نرجع للوراء لا نرجع للجاهلية الكفرة. So they started with, that was the Jahiliyyah, and today it is another Jahiliyyah. We're not going back to the Jahiliyyah. Huh? So let us go back to the true Islam and not go back to the Jahiliyyah. It's a beauty, but it's very dangerous. It's a very dangerous thing. When you follow it, it makes sense in the beginning, but when you follow it, yes, the postmodernity and the modernity, if you are talking about that, yes, it is a Jahiliyyah, based on that. But if you are talking about the, you see, so the definition of the Jahiliyyah is not the good one, and that's why everything after that, everything after that failed. So that's why I wanted to make sure to explain this aqidah and to imagine what was the mind, how was the mind, what was the theory, what was the way of thinking, what was the philosophy of the people before Islam. Were they religious people? And the answer that I gave you, and you can discuss that after, the answer that I am suggesting, no. They were not religious whatsoever. They did not have any religion. They were not religious people. They did not have any religion. We are talking about religion now. We are going to go to the virtues after that, because al-akhlaq is the mukammil of the deen. The character, the noble character, the virtues that comes after. We're talking now about the religion. Why? Because my definition of the religion is to reconnect to God. If the transcendent element is absent, there is no religion. There is image of religion, but there is no reality of religion. So the people before Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when we talk about the people, are talking about the majority. Okay, we will see, and some of you will see there were some people seeking the truth here and there, and we'll see miracles happen to them. But the majority of people, the mindset of that era was not really. They were not really concerned with the after death. They were so consumed with what? With the now. What's going to happen now? What's going to happen for me tomorrow in this dunya? They were so. And the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Quran is describing it, قال بل إن جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي الأذقان فمقمحون. So this is exactly. جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا والعياذ بالله. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون. مقمحون, that means they cannot look up. That's the meaning for مقمحون. So they cannot look up. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave such beautiful poetic description for the reality of someone who is mushrik. What's the problem? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لنا المرسلين على صراط مستقيم ها؟ تنزيل العزيز الرحيم. لتنذر. We are talking about the pre-Islamic area. قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم من قبل فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم the majority فهم لا يؤمنون. Why? Why? The mindset. What's the problem? إنه جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا وأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون والعياذ بالله. So that's the reality. It starts with they do not look up. They do not look up. They are not looking to connect with the heavens. They are not expecting a meeting with that special one. Understand? They did not look back who created them and look forward to meet that one who created them from nothing and was giving them everything. You understand that? You understand that? That's what made them set up. That's why, that's exactly the explanation. Why فهم لا يؤمنون? Because of that. You are set up والعياذ بالله for atheism or for kufr or for shirk or for anything. يعني فلا يبالي في أي واد هلكت after that. Shaitan will just put you wherever he can. You will be, you can be comfortable as long as you can become
whatever form.
Whatever form doesn't. But as long as the haqiqah is the same. So if I tell you that the haqiqah of someone who believes in bursa, ايش البورصة? His religion is stocks. You know, it's a new religion. It's a new religion. What's his name? Sayyidina Umar. One of the most famous. He said the modern religion. He has written a book about the modern religions, and he mentioned stocks amongst them. These, you know, stocks. People who go who they do not sleep. They wake up. The first thing they wake up, even they make the hajjud actually. They wake up during the night. They dream. They see dreams. They see that company is up, that company is down. They actually see through dreams. Many of them, they actually see in the dream, go and sell your stocks from here and buy your stocks from there. Wallahi. يعني, and it's something ajib. You understand what I'm talking about? البورصة. La bourse.
Stock market.
Huh? The stock market. The stock market. Okay, for example, people who have their money, you are poor, you don't understand that. And you do not study in business, so alhamdulillah. But people who are rich or think that they are rich or have studied business, it's all about the stock market, you know? So Bombardier, so some people they have ashum, they have what?
Shares.
They have shares in Bombardier. Okay? And they have shares in what's this? Samsung or Apple. Okay? So the share, the
price
Value.
the value of the shares are going up in Apple and going down in Bombardier, and they make okay. So that, you know what? But they know that they are going down in Bombardier now, but they are going to go up in 4 months. So they will. It's time to buy. It's a buyer market. So they buy all of that, and then they become rich. The stock market. I will tell you. It's called ashum actually. It's called istiham. Subhanallah, ajib. In Arabic, it's the same name. You know what they used to do with asnam, with idols in the Jahiliyyah? It was called istiham. يضرب بالسهم. It's exactly the stock market. It's exactly the stock market. So it's just a different form, but the mentality is the same. If you are set up to become an adorateur, to become a worshipper of the stock market, you are set up to become a worshipper of Hubal and Lat or Uzza. It's the same. And you are set up to be. So it's not the mystery. It's not because there is a mystery somewhere. You say, the transcendent element is the connection with God. That's the transcendent element. It's not because the modern philosophy they teach us what? So some people they taught us, you know, the clever mind is a rational mind and only accepts what he sees. Okay? The clever mind is a rational mind and only accepts what? What he sees. طيب؟ مفهوم؟ لا بأس leave. And the stupid mind believes in mystery. You see? You understand? That's the whole modern philosophy. That's the whole modern philosophy.
Scientism.
The scientism. That's the whole modern philosophy. They will tell you that the clever mind is a rational mind. Will only accept what he and something that makes sense. So what are they suggesting? They are suggesting that if you are a believer in mystery, if you believe in mysterious things, you are set up
Irrational.
for shirk. You are set up for irrationality. Now, the Islamic scientism took that, and what are they telling us? It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. The modernity and postmodernity. They will tell you, if you believe in mystery, if you believe in miracles, if you believe in mystery, you are set up for. That's why they try to rationalize everything about the life of the prophets, about the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You understand? Because they became so paranoid from what we call, from mystery, or of mystery. Paranoid of, or from. They became so paranoid from mystery. It's not about mysterious or not mysterious. What I am suggesting as an alternative to that is the following. If you are not seeking God, if you don't have God in your mind, and meeting with Him, and you are not cultivating the desire to meet with Him, you are set up for to be defeated spiritually, which is shirk, or which is whatever. It's not about rationality or not rationality. It's not about accepting what you see or not accepting what you do not see. It's not about that. You understand? Are you seeking God? Are you looking to meet? Are you looking forward to meet with Him, Subhanahu wa Taala? Or you have no concern whatsoever in that? وهكذا. So we said it wasn't a religion because they were not concerned about the hereafter. And Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, now go and read the Quran, you will see every time Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says bal, or gives an explanation why these people they were doomed, duped or doomed. Also, why these people were duped and doomed? Why? Because they were not seeking the afterlife. It means they were not seeking the meeting of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Go and read in particular Surah Yunus. Surah Yunus, you will find وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا. It is, Surah Yunus is a dialogue between two kinds of people, those who are expecting to meet with their Lord versus those who are not expecting and are not hoping for that. And everything is based on that. So that's the foundation. Any questions about this before going to the second element, which is al-qiyam, virtues? So we spoke about the religion. So religion per se, we're not talking about virtues yet. So religion, what makes a religion religion? Virtues? No. What makes a religion religion? Economical solutions? No. Social solutions? No. Virtues? No. What makes a religion religion? What's the main element of the religion? The transcendent element, what I am calling the transcendent element. You won't find this in books. These are things that I'm creating, mustalahat. So the transcendent element, okay, or the shirki mind, or the shirki paradigm, etc. The transcendent element is what? Seeking to meet your Lord. Connection with God. What makes a religion religion is that transcendent element. If that transcendent element is not there, that religion is not praying, it is playing. It's not right, it's left. The R of praying becomes L. So from praying, you have playing. The R of right becomes L of left. So you are not from Ashab al-Yamin anymore, والعياذ بالله أصحاب الشمال left and خلاص. So it is playing. It's not praying, it is playing. What is playing? Is to get stuck and content, to get stuck with the lower dimension of existence, to get stuck in the lower dimension of existence. You know, we have many dimensions of existence. There is a physical dimension of existence, there is the egotistical dimension of existence, and the material dimension of existence, there is the rational dimension of existence, and there is the spiritual dimension of existence. So they got stuck what? With what? The lower dimension of existence. And that's exactly literal translation of al-hayat ad-dunya. It's not the world. It's the lower dimension of existence. Al-hayat ad-dunya. The lowly. Or the lower. ER, like the
Lowest.
The lowest. I'm sorry, the lowest. The lowest or the lowest dimension of existence, or the lowly dimension of existence. That's the definition of al-hayat ad-dunya. To be تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا, to prefer and to be contented or to get stuck in that lowly or lower or lowest dimension of existence, والعياذ بالله, is what makes you non-religious person, even if you are practicing all the religions, even if you are doing so good, performing so good the actions of that religion. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العظيم. Any questions about this? Any comments about this before going to the second element that what's your name, Sayyid? That Brother Muhammad mentioned, which is the virtues. لبيك.
So al-dunya is lower.
Yes.
Al-haya translates to
Existence.
life, but not
No,
necessarily
existence. No.
existence.
What the literal translation for al-hayat ad-dunya is the lowest or the lower or the lowly dimension of existence. That's the literal translation. Al-hayat is existence, is a dimension of existence. Okay? What is hayat? You find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran said, وَالدَّارُ الْآخِرَةِ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانِ. That's the true existence. So this existence, this dimension of existence is not the true existence. You think you exist? Huh?
Yeah.
So when Descartes says, I think,
Therefore I am.
Therefore I exist. It's not therefore I am. That's أنا أفكر إذا أنا موجود. It's not, that's a poetic translation in English. So je pense donc j'existe. Je pense donc the cogito. What does he say? What is he offering? It's a very good thing actually, because he was addressing the people of who are lower than him. He was offering to them the rational dimension of existence. But the problem that we have with rational people is not that they were rational, but they said that's the saqf, that's the
roof,
The ceiling.
that's the ceiling. You cannot go, you cannot go beyond. Then Kant comes and tells you, then Hegel, I'm sorry, Kant. Then Kant comes and tells you, no, you can go beyond. But the rational does not take you beyond. Whether you agree with Kant or you are happy with him, that's another thing. But at least for that, okay, you see, you understand that. You see. So when he says, "Je pense donc j'existe," I think then I exist. Thinking, being rational, is the true existence. That's what he's saying. That your existence, oh people who are just running after drinking and eating and making sex and sleeping and doing that, that's not existence. The true existence is the existence of rational people. Now the spiritual, what does he answer? فَمَا الْعَيْشُ إِلَّا لِذَوِي الْقُرْبَى لَيْسَ لَهُمْ عَنَ الْحَقِّ حِجَابٌ. The true existence only belongs to people who are truly connected to God, and they do not have any veil between them and Him. So the existence of Descartes is not existence enough for us, and the existence of let alone the existence of of Abu Jahl or Abu Sufyan or you understand? You understand? الحياة الدنيا is that dimension of living, of existence. بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا, that means you preferred that lowly dimension of existence. You did not aim for a higher dimension of existence. You did not aim for a better existence. You did not aim for the true existence. You understand? You dealt with this life around you only with your bodies. Descartes will tell you, deal with this life with your brain, which is more noble. The brain is more noble than the body. But there is something way more noble than the brain and the body, altogether. Huh? Your ruh. يا خادم الجسم كم تسعى لخدمته تبتغي الربح ما فيه خسران فاستقبل النفس واستكمل فضائلها فأنت بالنفس لا بالجسم إنسان. Oh, the one who is serving, Al-Hasan al-Basri, he said, oh, the one who is serving his body. For how long you are going to be serving and consumed in serving this body? Huh? Sidi Ahmed Alawi calls it the cross, this cross. It is a cross, right? The body is the body. Until when you are going to be so consumed worshipping that cross or that body? Are you seeking to win? Are you seeking gain from a company that is vowed to bankruptcy? Vowed? That is voué.
Like
That is destined to become mad, to bankruptcy. Okay? So I said, no, look at your secret, look at your ruh, and perfect your sir and your ruh, because you are with your ruh and your nafs is what makes you a human being, not your body. هكذا على كل حال Descartes tells you فاستقبل العقل واستكمل ذكاوته or واستكمل خصائله واستكمل its هكذا. But there is a ruh which is further there. طيب, what else? Do you have anything else? Comment or question about this? لبيك. And I really, it's very important that it is very clear. Yeah, Bismillah.
So your definition of religion is that what modern people they have in mind for spirituality, what like the
absolutely.
So their definition of religion
not all
is
modern
like
people. Some people they think spirituality is to have a high, is to feel good. No, that's not spirituality. Spirituality is not to feel good, is to find God. It's to feel God, it's not to feel good. Spirituality is not about feeling good, it's about feeling God. Okay? Spirituality is not about feeling good, it is about feeling God. Okay? Spirituality is not about finding that feeling. It is about finding God. What?
So just saying, because in university they separate between religion and spirituality. They say religion is like the platform, the social thing, and spirituality. So I'm just asking this. So would you say religion is because you said in a sense there's
so
no
that
need
religion
for that social thing. So it can be only, for example, someone alone. In modern university, they would say someone alone having a transcendent experience. They will not call it religion, they will call it like whatever, spiritual thing. So would you say this example of someone alone having a transcendent, you will call this religion?
It's a religious experience. It is a religious experience. So we're not talking about the same definition. I'm getting all my definitions from the Quran. إِنَّ الدِّينَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ الْإِسْلَامِ. The only thing that you can call, that can be called religion is, what is Islam? Is to abandon oneself to God and seek God, and that's the definition of Islam. So with no Islam, with no submission to God, with no seeking connection to God, there is no deen. It's not deen. You can call it deen, it's not deen. It's adyan. It's not a deen. It's adyan. It's not praying, it's playing. Okay? Labbayk.
That verse that you mentioned is a very important point, because many people will say in the Deen and Allah Islam, they will restrict it to the organized religion of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
يعني wow, you are setting me up, Sayyidi, خلاص, to be called perennialist. But Bismillah, if that's perennialism, I am. Okay? If that's the definition of perennialism, yeah, absolutely. The verse is not talking, read the verse, it's not talking about Al-Islam is the no, how to say, is the no name, is the truth. The primordial is the heart, is the haqiqah, the truth of the religion. That's Islam. So if there is no Islam in any religion, there is no, you cannot call it religion. It's not about seeking God, so why am I calling it religion? Liaison with what? Religion, which legion? Which legion you are going to it? Which legion? Quelle legion? Quelle is what it is? You are reconnecting to what? So if it is not about reconnecting, to the higher level of existence that you had at some point and now you, well, في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين. That's the whole surah. The whole surah At-Teen that comes right before اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. The whole surah At-Teen that is talking about the revelations. What teen? What teen? Which is the Mount of Teen where Sayyidina Ibrahim received the revelation. What Zaytun? Where Sayyidina Musa received the Mount of Zaytun, le Mount des Oliviers, where Sayyidina Isa has received the revelation. Wa Turi Sinin, where Sayyidina Musa. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the Abrahamic experience, the Isa experience of transcendence, Musa experience of transcendence. وهذا البلد الأمين, and the Muhammadan experience of transcendence. والتين والزيتون وطور سنين وهذا البلد الأمين. What is this whole story about? Of deen. لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم. This insan, we have created him in the best level, the highest level of existence. ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين. Then we sent him down to live the lowest level of existence. كمل. رددناه أسفل سافلين. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون. فما يكذبك بعد بإيش؟ بالدين. هذه سورة الدين. أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين؟ بلى وإن على ذلك لشهيد. This surah is not Surah At-Teen. My father calls it Surah الدين. فما يكذبك بعد بالدين. This surah tells you everything about the reality of deen. What is this whole story? خلقنا الإنسان بأحسن تقويم. In the beginning, how did we start? We started in the religion. We started in the connection. We started in the liaison. We started with the highest level of existence. We started with the true existence. Talking to God, speaking, talking back to God. What could be better existence than that existence? مفهوم? Seeing Him, hearing Him, interacting with Him. in another dimension. And that's the existence. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking, أحسن تقويم, the highest level of existence. Then, رددناه, we sent him to the lowest level of his existence with the creation, with the khalq. He was in the world of haqq. We sent him to the world of khalq, the lowest level of existence. إلا, except for those who believe with that iman. It's like والعصر الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. With that iman, you will maintain that connection to the highest level of existence. وعملوا الصالحات إلا الذين آمنوا فلهم أجر غير ممنون. They have a connection. The word أجر, it's not a reward. These people, they have a connection that wasn't. ممنون means مقطوع. فلهم أجر غير ممنون. These people, they kept their connection unbroken, uncut. That's it. But the other people, their connection with the highest level of existence, with their highest level of existence was mamnoon, was severed. الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات, their connection with the highest level of existence, because they were, why they were عملوا الصالحات? They were عملوا الصالحات, why they were doing good? Seeking the face of? So their connection, that's the literal translation of ajr. Their connection, ajr is from جريان الماء, is stream. Their stream, فلهم أجر غير ممنون. Their stream, their connection, the running stream of madad, of spiritual connection between them and their Lord was never. فلهم أجر غير ممنون. That's the meaning of ajr, and it comes from jara yajri, and that's the meaning of ajr. It's not a reward. Okay?
So when we say reward, we're saying that it's an increasing of that connection.
Absolutely.
That's
Indeed.
what the reward is.
Indeed. That's it. That's the reward. The reward is to re-establish that connection or increase that connection. مفهوم? Is it clear? طيب مفهوم؟ معنى؟ هذا هو سورة الدين. سورة الدين is talking about the four revelations, the four major revelations. إبراهيم وموسى وعيسى, and سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم البلد الأمين. لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين. That's the whole story. So we are sending revelations for people to maintain their connection or re-establish their connection with their highest level of existence, which is the spiritual level of existence, which is to exist as spirits, as hearts, as albab, as essences, as receptacles for the divine light, as connected موصولين people to the divine. Bismillah. Continue. So our definition for the religion, Sayyidi, we are taking it from the Quran. And to answer, yes, so people, they said it is inna dina 'inda Allah al-Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the organized religion of Islam that we know today. I'll tell you, no, never. It can't be. It can't be. And even the traditional classic mufassirin, they refer to Islam not as the organized things. They talk about the Islam, the essence of the message of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is, otherwise it cannot be called deen. Because why? It was that verse was to answer the claim of some people, we have our deen, we have our deen, we have our deen. Okay? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used that language in the beginning, and lakum dinukum waliya deen, you know what? You have your deen and I have my deen. But the true deen that deserves to be called deen, like the true existence, that deserves to be called existence is الآخرة هي الحيوان. But this dunya is not even حياة. أموات غير أحياء ولكن لا يشعرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran is telling you, these people who are breathing and breathing, eating and drinking, are أموات غير أحياء ولكن لا يشعرون. They are dead, they are not living. They do not have the true life. Because the true life is for the people who have connection. You understand? So in the same way, to all these people who think that they have a deen, it's not a deen. Even if with mustalah, with the ايش المصطلح?
Terminology.
In the terminology we can call it deen. It's not true deen. They are making salat to go back. وما كان صلاتهم عند البيت إلا مكاء وتصديا. Were they making salat? Salat there is a praying. So they're praying around the house, or they're praying around the Kaaba, was nothing but noise. That noise. That making noise. They were saying, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. But it was just making noise. They were saying, Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. It was just making noise. Doesn't mean that, they were actually literally going and clapping and whistling. Muka'an wa tasdiyatan. Muka'an wa tasdiyatan is a ta'bir and is an expression that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using to say that even your recitation of the Quran can become muka'an wa tasdiyatan. Can become a child today when he sees his mother praying, make tahiyatullah. When I was a child, actually a 3-year-old, I thought that when I started praying at that age, and I would sit next to my mother, everything else I knew, Fatiha, Qul Huwallahu Ahad, etc. Tahiyatullah, just because I just hear, so I just keep and wiggling, and just looking at this mystery of wiggling. How can we wiggle? To wiggle or to not wiggle, and how to wiggle. That's the mind of 3-year-old boy. Bismillah, and we thought it was هكذا. Many people today, they say actually Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, but how much of tasbih you have in your tasbih? How much of istighfar you have in your istighfar? How much of hamd you have in your hamd? Just noise. So actually that verse, ما كان صلاتهم عند البيت إلا مكاء وتصدية, is the verse that it describes exactly their religious practice. Because what is the most important thing in the religious practice? What is it? Talking with Allah, which is dua, which is salat. You understand? It's not about giving or doing. It's really talking to the divine. That's the essence. That's mukhul ibadah. Ad-du'a. Dua, praying, is the marrow, is the essence of acts of worship. لا خير في دين لا صلاة فيه, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says. Some people, they told him, let us do the deen, we want this to give charity, etc., but not salat. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there is no good in deen, there is no salat in it. What is good in a deen? There is no talking to God in it. لا خير في دين لا صلاة فيه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ مَعَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. Woe to those who are making salat, but they are not. They are ghafilin, they are not actually talking to Allah in their salat. لا حول ولا قوة إلا العلي العظيم. So their salat, they have no connection with God, so it's not increasing them. So they kept to continue as people of riya, yura'un, and people of miserness, يمنعون الماعون والعياذ بالله. مفهوم? So that's the haqiq of the jahiliyyah. We only define the spiritual level. We did not go to the virtues, and we did not go to the psychology of the jahiliyyah. So next time we'll talk about the virtues, what's about these virtues, and from the virtues we'll talk about the psychology of the people of the jahiliyyah. Labbaik.
Also, the political side of the tribes itself is also very interesting.
We'll go to the political after that.
Because it resonates a lot with what we're going through now.
Naam.
Like how the leaders of those tribes wanted to become the leaders of everything. And whoever disagreed would just disappear, and the fight over power and the fascism and all that.
All of that. Fascism, indeed. So that's actually one of the names that I would be suggesting to redefine what is jahiliyyah. Because now people, they say the period of ignorance, and then after I finish this, I'll tell you, let us retranslate that, because it wasn't really ignorance. They knew, they had many knowledge, but what is it? One of the names I would suggest would be fascism, the period of fascism, or emotionalism, or sentimentalism, وهكذا.
Tribalism.
Any other points? Any other points about this, what we have seen? It's very important that you agree or accept what I was saying. Otherwise we cannot, because these are the paradigms that I am setting the whole class on. These are the foundations. Do you agree that it was important that we have seen today?
Mm-hmm.
Who did not get anything from, really? Who thinks it is just philosophating and there is no... why we're talking about this? And please say it if that's the case, and let us discuss it. And who has any question or something he wants to clarify? Labbaik.
Just a clarification.
Yes.
Earlier when we were talking about sincerity and like living your whole life in a certain way, and then towards the end of your life your actual destination comes, and like let's say you were living your whole life as a nominal Muslim. Because I feel like a lot of people believe that, and myself included, believe that they're sincere, is there a way to know, like, if you actually are, or is there a way to know?
If you are looking to be sincere, you are sincere.
But I mean, because a lot of people, I believe that they believe that they're sincere, but they oppress and they harm a lot of other people in the name of religion.
So that's the yes. So what is sincerity? So this is the thing. Sincerity has to be connected with God. You see, what the way we define sincerity today, and it's a bomb. Wallahi, these brothers are sincere, but they are wrong. You cannot be sincere in the wrong way. Mustahil. You cannot be sincere. To be sincere is to seek God sincerely. That's sincerity. يأبى الحق إلا أن يكون لله. فلو صدقوا الله لصدقهم. فلو صدقوا الله ما وعدوه. Sidq has to be connected with God. It's not to be. That's integrity. That's something else. You understand? Integrity or being consistent with oneself. That's something else. Being consistent with oneself, with one's principles, is not sincerity. You understand? To be sincere, our definition of sidq, or haqq, or sincerity, is to be truthful. It means what? To be truthful?
To Allah.
To Allah. It means to really seek God. Someone who seeks God can never be arrogant. Someone who seeks God can never judge people. Someone who seeks God can never harm others. You understand? Because that seeking of God, we have وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ. So our definition of sincerity is taqwa. To really seek God truly and truthfully, and to seek to be a genuine seeker of God. That's sincerity. Sincerity in our definition is a higher level than ikhlas itself. So we have the purity of the intention, and then we have the sincerity, which is sidq, which is the equivalent of haqq, which is the equivalent of sabr. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق. What is هذا? What's higher than حق? صبر. وتواصوا بالصبر. صبر is صدق. صدق or صبر or حق. صدق or صبر is what covers the حق, is what protects the حق, is what is the higher level than the حق, which is what? Which is to be sincere, seeking that حق. You understand? To keep seeking that haqq and to never lose sight of it. That's why it is sabr. Is actually another terminology is focus. To keep focused. That's sabr. Those who found the truth and they
persevere.
They kept focused.
Concentrated.
They kept focused. Focus is a journey. Focus. Huh? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he says to Ibn Abbas, احفظ الله يحفظ. And for another, من جعل الله نصب عينيه. Have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala نصب عينيك. Have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in front of you. It means focus. Because ولا تعد عيناك عنهم. لا تلتفت. Focus. 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 The mirror of the heart. It goes like this. Allahu Akbar. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Goes like this. Allahu Akbar. Focus. You see, when you work with a microscope, who hasn't worked with a microscope? Never? I'm talking about the old microscopes, not like the electronic microscopes today. They do everything for you. But these electronic, I'm looking for one. If someone can find one for me. I love it because subhanallah, I got my first fatah, if we can talk about fatah. Wallahi, I got that experience at 14-year-old with a microscope. I said, this is like the heart with the nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and out of nowhere, Allah put in my brain, in my heart, the explanation of Ayat al-Nur. Out of nowhere, I haven't read it in any book, and I have understood it exactly through the microscope. I said, exactly, that's Nuran ala Nur, I got so excited about it. Because it has what? The microscope is something, and it has that, it has a mirror. And you have to adjust that mirror in order for that mirror to be 100% facing the light. And when it is facing the light 100%, then you will be able to see clear. If it is not facing the light 100%, it's a grayish. If it is totally facing the other side, it's black. So really you have to play and to adjust, and if it moves a bit, خلاص, you lose you cannot see anything anymore. عجيب. So that's the face, that's وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض, that's the وجه. That we need to نوجهه لله سبحانه وتعالى. Focus. That's about focusing. So ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. So sincerity. They believe they are sincere. We tell them, ask God, pray. Istikhara is one of the tests. Did you make istikhara before going to make what you think jihad? Did you make an istikhara before putting a bomb somewhere in a restaurant to kill people? Huh? I know some people who went as a journalist, and they saw the camp of these people in Nusra and ISIS and whatever. And the question that I really wanted to ask, and what I really wanted to know, how were these people, how were they living? Were they really praying? Did they have tears asking God, Ya Rabbi? They were, but they were only asking for victory. Were they asking God, give us the truth? ربي أدخلني مدخل صدق وأخرجني مخرج صدق واجعل لي من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. Their definition of sultan is duped, and their definition of victory is totally wrong, and all what they are asking for is the sultan al-nasiran with their wrong definition of sultan al-nasiran. What Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, وَقُلْ, he taught us how to pray, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before everything, ربي أدخلني مدخل صدق. Allow me to enter in any matter with sincerity, with sidq. It means what? For your sake alone. وأخرجني مخرج صدق, and allow me to exit anything or from anything for your sake. Oh, not because I'm upset with these people. Also, allow me to live in my mudkhal, in my house, with my household. That's the mudkhal, adkhilni, mudkhala sidq. To be seeking your face with what? And with other people, my social life, sidq also. Allow me to live my social life as a sadiq. وَاجْعَلْ لِي مِنْ لَدُنْكَ سُلْطَانًا نَصِيرًا, and give me from you a power that gives me victory. On what? Our understanding and the tafsir of that is, and give me a power to keep focused. Because you really need a sultan. You need a big tawfiq from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep focused on that sidq in your mudkhal and in your mukhraj. Because we are with people who think that we are sadiq, we go home and we start doing exactly the opposite of what we are preaching. Be nice to your women, and they go home and subhanallah, 10 minutes later I'm disrespecting my wife. Allah, what are you doing? You see, to keep focused and seeking doesn't mean that I'm a hypocrite, but it means that I lost focus. You need to keep tawasul bil-haq wa tawasul bis-sidq, or as-sidq. That's the meaning. Keep focus, seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So sincerity, it's not about being convinced. Aywa, ahsan Allahu ilayk. So you can be convinced with batil. It doesn't mean that they are sincere. You are sincere. You understand? You can be so serious about something. Sincerity is not about seriousness. You can be serious about being a satanic, if you wish. Right? You are not playing, serious. But it's not sincerity, it's not sidq. So can we say that the people of the Jahiliyyah, they were صادقين? كانوا صادقين في كذبهم على أنفسهم. If they were sincere in anything, they were sincere in lying to their own selves. They were totally invested in really lying to their own selves and accepting that lie. So you understand? So the true sidq is really with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Impossible. Someone turns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not answer him or her. Impossible. Mustahil. He says, استهدوني أهدكم. Seek guidance, I will guide you, not I shall guide you, not I would guide you, not I might guide you. So they believe they are sincere. Seek God in that. The exercise now that we should be practicing, all of us, is what's called remise en question. ايش هذا remise en question؟
How do you call that? It's really
Self-reflection?
like muhasabah.
Muhasabah, remise en
Taking
question.
oneself to account.
Taking oneself to account. You have to be, says a sincere person has to be a person of insaf and i'tiraf. So that leads me, that connects me to actually to the next session. We talk about these qualities of insaf and i'tiraf. These two qualities. For you to be able to receive the haqq, you have to have the two qualities of insaf and i'tiraf. Acknowledge and be fair. Acknowledge the truth when you see it and to be fair. Acknowledge your own mistakes and to be fair. You understand? What is the opposite of insaf and i'tiraf? Emotional, being just emotional. Being just emotional. أهل الإنصاف وأهل الاعتراف يجدون الحق. That's why يقول هل أعظكم بواحد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling these kuffar, you want to be guided. هل أنصفت? Be people of insaf. Acknowledge. Be fair. Can that? It's fairness and insaf. If someone doesn't have insaf and doesn't have i'tiraf, he's in his jahiliyyah. عجيب, you find people that everything, they start cursing a human being just because they disagree with one opinion. Everything. Can you be fair? And they do a mistake, and their brothers, they did a mistake. And you tell them, look at you. No, that wasn't a mistake. Ooh. No i'tiraf, no insaf. Jahiliyyah, totally. You cannot find haqq if you are not a person of i'tiraf and insaf. Right? So that's the exercise that we should keep doing in order to be people of haqq or to find the haqq, is the insaf and i'tiraf, is muhasabat al-nafs, remise en question, self, taking yourself to account and revisiting, I would say, revisiting your intentions. Revisiting your intentions. Keep revisiting your intentions. Keep revisiting your foundation. طيب? You never know what happened. طيب? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I think we are done. This is stay at least for the dua. You were not able to attend. So any other thing that you really need to, because you're not going to go back to this. I really want this to be Bismillah, and I want you to take notes of this, even those who did not take notes. When you watch it, please take notes, because there are many new definitions, and understand. And from here you understand where we are going. Labbaik.
When one is sincere, and sincerely trying to guide somebody, but they just pick your mistakes and tell you that you're munafiq, what are we supposed to do? Because we are humans, we err. But it happened last night that the leader, Imran Khan, posted a video of music on his Twitter account. And the moment I saw, the first thing I wrote to him as a tweet was that, Salam, what's gone into you? Why are you posting music? Because 2 days ago he had a big speech saying that we have to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to connect to Rasulullah, and he was talking about this era that we're discussing right now, and how the Jahiliyyah was erased by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in about a few years of the time he got the Ba'asat of Quran, and the time in Hazrat Umar and everybody was conquering the superpowers. So he was just telling us about that, and this last night then when I saw and I said, the first thing I said was my habit is to say salam. And then I said, what's wrong with you? Why you were posting music we are supposed to be connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala via Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Believe me, like I have almost 95,000 followers. I was just like, there were people who were picking my tweets and like making good pictures and saying, well, you're munafiq.
Why?
Well, because like sometimes when there are some national anthems or something, we get excited about it and it has a little bit of music, like the Tarana and all the things. So they said, oh, you are munafiq. I said, well,
why you are munafiq? Because you put music on your page.
No, because I said to him something that I was also doing. That's why he said, I said, no, my stature is nothing, I'm a commoner. He's kind of a leader of a Muslim country with 4.5 million followers. If he's posting music a day before, he just told us to be looking at Rasulullah and Rasulullah's that doesn't make sense. So I felt kind of, like a
so to go back to the question, to the heart of the question.
I know I'm not munafiq,
alhamdulillah. So if you are sincere to guide someone and someone tells you are munafiq, okay, that's an opportunity for you to become more sincere. If you are sincere to teach people through knowledge and people criticize you and people attack you and they tell you are a batil or you are something, that's actually a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's a gift for you to become more sincere, to revisit your intentions first of all, and to reconnect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to be more sincere. And it's an ibtila, it's a test for you. Are you going to be consistent with what you are preaching or not? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And they tell you that.
I couldn't sleep all night.
No,
I just prayed to Allah.
Tell them, pray for me. Tell them, please pray for me that Allah cure me from whatever atoms of nifaq I have in my heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure me. And you will have, how many followers you had?
95,000.
You will have 95,000 prayers.
No, I have it.
Yeah. You will have 95,000 prayers that Allah cures you from nifaq. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Are you sure that you don't have a single atom of nifaq in your heart? Are you sure that you do not have a single... okay. I would say, if someone tells me, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you tawbah from nifaq, I would say, Ameen. So how about 95,000? So if I were you, I would tweet or whatever to them. I don't know how that works.
Just write it and you post it.
Okay, just write it and post it then and tell them, please pray for me that Allah cures me from nifaq. You will have 95,000 prayers that Allah cures you from nifaq. Yeah, I mean, even if you have like whatever amount of nifaq in your heart, it will be smashed and you will meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And it will give them an opportunity to make dua. Maybe the first time in their life they will make dua.
No, but my point is, alhamdulillah, that my conscience is clear.
خلاص الحمد لله بسم الله الله أكبر الحمد لله اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه والباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على حبيبك محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين نعم مولى ونعم النصير اللهم اجعلنا من أحبابك ولا تطردنا عن أحبابك ولا تحرمنا الذي دعاء بخطابك وصلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين نعم المولى ونعم النصير. الفاتحة. So next session will be Monday. Give us the date, Sayyidi. Not the 10th, but Monday the
17th.
Monday 17th. Why we are not going to be here Monday the 10th, next Monday? Because we have the visit of Sheikh Nainawi. And for those who did not who haven't registered yet, and they can come to Ottawa for that weekend and expose themselves to an opportunity that doesn't come all the time, and to receive, I mean, it's recorded. You can go on YouTube and have the same class. It's already available on YouTube. The Aqidah Tahawiyya Intensive by Sheikh Nainawi. It's not the same thing. You will be able to follow the Sheikh in front of you, and also knowing Sheikh Nainawi, he will be adding new staff and fresh staff. These people, they are not like khalas. They are not parrots. They are living people of God. So he will add many things. More than that, you will be able to ask your questions and get answers, and to get an ijazah and to be amongst people who are really seeking the truth, because the matter of Aqidah today is a very sensitive matter. And I am sure at least there will be one person who is there just seeking the haqq. Just with the barakah of that person will be all accepted, and the barakah of that, the presence of that person will be all guided, inshallah, to the haqq for those who can be there and haven't registered yet. Please register. So next Monday, actually it ends next Monday at 1 at Dhuhr. So we could have had our class next Monday, but to accommodate those who will be in Ottawa and they will be coming to their homes, etc., to ask from them to come from Ottawa and then have another class, I could have done it, but it would be challenging for others. So we see you Monday 17th. And after that, inshallah, and then after that we'll be having a break of 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Okay? Because I'll be traveling after that. So we see you October 17th. Inshallah. And bi'idhnillah Sami Alim, I hope that October 17th will finish the pre-Islamic era and to understand that. And also I wanted to give you a summary of the treatise of Sirah, who are the first people who have written about Sirah from the beginning, and what is that, etc., etc. A scientific introduction after we finish with the pre-Islamic era. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you all tawfiq. Inshallah this was beneficial, and inshallah it is beneficial, and inshallah it will give you, for those who are studying Islamic studies, etc., it will give you the opportunity to redefine a few things and to really carry on. Carry this knowledge and carry it on. Honestly, when we are stuck with the wrong definitions and stuck with the wrong questions and stuck with the wrong answers, cannot move. So I'm not really, it's not my style to be controversial. Controversial. So, polemical. It's not really, that's not what I'm seeking here. Otherwise, I could have become like many people, and to become polemical today, you will be the most famous. It's actually, that's what people are looking for. Why I'm redefining everything is not to be polemical, but you see, subhanallah, even when I find a book like this, very beautiful book, but stuck with the wrong answers. Why? Because stuck with the wrong questions. Why? Because stuck with the wrong definitions. Because when you have a definition, based on that definition, you ask your question. And based on your question, you'll get the answer. I mean, if you have the wrong definition of things, if you have the wrong definition of deen, khalas. If you have the wrong definition of Islam, if you have the wrong definition of Jahiliyyah, if you have the wrong definition of what are the things that sincerity, we redefine many things. So, inshallah, with the good definitions, you ask now the good questions, and then you'll be able to find the good answers, and then you carry on after that. حفظكم الله. صلى الله عليه وسلم.